I'm so excited because I've decided to go and get myself a drone. If you remember in 2021, when I was shooting the Paris, Ontario vlog, my drone actually just plopped into the river because the battery got detached and I just couldn't retrieve it after that. So I've been traveling for the past 2 years and I don't really have a drone, and I've been missing, capturing all of that footage from up above. And now I'm thinking that, you know what, I'm ready to invest a small amount in one of the beginner drones. So I'm just going to go and maybe get the DJI Mini 3 Pro, which is one of the entry level drones, I believe. And yeah, I think we can always upgrade, as time moves on, or if I feel the need to upgrade. But this one is pretty good. It's not the very basic one. It's got like some really good features as well. So I'm really looking forward to learning how to use it and, just capturing more really cool footage on all of my travels. I am also looking to speak to some of the customer service people in the shops to see if they can sway me in any direction. So let's see what they say. But I think I'm pretty happy with the DJI Mini 3 Pro. So yeah, I'm going to take you along with me to go and buy the drone, and then we'll unbox it together, and we'll also do some testing, and I'll let you know what I think about it. So stay tuned, and let's not waste any more time. Let's go buy my drone. Okay, so I've just reached. I'm going to go to this place called Best Buy, and let's go and get my drone now. Okay, so I bought my drone. Yay! So I ended up buying the DJI Mini 3 Pro. I bought the one with the full kit as well. So as you can see, it's got the little remote with the screen. It's got a couple of batteries, propellers, a case as well. So I think this will be really useful. And it's always good to have extra batteries. And the screen with the remote with the screen is pretty good as well. So yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to unbox it and open it and figure out how to use it. I already know from before how to use it, but I need a refresher. I also bought a SD card, like micro SD card. So this one is for 128 GB, which I think is sufficient for my purpose at the moment. So the total right now for this drone was about 1,163 Canadian dollars. This is including tax. So I think not too bad. That was exactly my budget from all of the gifts that I've been accumulating for the past year. So yeah, finally I got a chance to invest it wisely. So yeah, let's go home and unbox it. Okay, so I'm home now and I'm ready to open up my new drone. So exciting. So yeah, so the packaging itself is so nice and so sleek. Don't feel like opening it, but we need to open it obviously. So gonna get started. I got this knife here because I don't want to damage the box itself. So I'm just going to make a small hole in one corner, and that way it will open up the rest of the plastic. Okay. Okay, so let's keep moving. Ready? Wow. Okay, so everything's packaged in this lovely little container. Smells so good. Smells like a new product. Okay, here we go. Let me keep this away so it doesn't keep it there. Like advertising. Okay, so first things first. These look like some USB chargers, so I won't open that just now. I want to get to the main stuff. And here is the drone. Okay, ready? There you go. So that's the lovely drone. So this is the remote, which is quite different from the remote that I had with the DJI Spark before. So that one, you had to just put your phone on it and then you could control it by looking at your phone, whereas this looks so advanced. It's got a built-in screen as well, which is amazing. And it's got these nice little grip pads here, which is really cool. And yeah, looks pretty nice. So that's the remote, and the screen looks so good. I can't wait to use it. Then what is in this? I think this is like the extra batteries and stuff. So yeah, so this is the battery pack, and I think this is also the charger, because I can see in and out and power. So I think this is where your batteries will go. So that's the battery. So I think it comes with 2 batteries. And yeah, wow, this feels so good to hold. Like, look at these, so nice. And that's it. There's nothing else in the bag. The bag itself is quite nice. Like, it's just got different compartments inside, so that way you can keep like all of the different items where it needs to go. It's also got like a little pocket on the back, so you can keep some stuff in here as well. So yeah, and it's got a little bit of a sling. And that's my drone and the unboxing. So now I'm going to probably watch some YouTube videos and try to figure out how to get this up and running. And you will probably see me next when I'm going to be trying to use it for the first time. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. So today is the day that I'm finally going to try my drone. So I'm so excited. One of the things that I should let you know is that I've actually got the DJI Mini 3 and not the Pro version. I did go to the store and ask for the Pro version, but that customer service person sold me the Mini 3, and at that time I didn't realize it, and I ended up getting this box. I opened it, and when I was trying to figure out the features, that's when I realized, oh wait, this doesn't have those features that I was so excited about. So yeah, now it's too late to return it, and the store doesn't have any of those kind of policies. So you know what, I'm just going to keep this drone for now, and maybe when I get 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I'll go and get myself the DJI Mini 4 Pro. So subscribe now so that I can reach my target of 10,000 subscribers. But anyways, I'm here at this open space and ready to try my drone for the first time. Another thing I want to mention is for you to set up your remote control before you head out to fly your drone. There are a number of steps that you have to do, which sometimes is inconvenient if you don't have access to Wi-Fi or the internet. So I suggest setting up your remote control, turn it on, and you'll need to create an account to log in, and you'll also need to update the software that's on this. So make sure that you do that. But yeah, besides that, all ready to start flying the drone. So one of the first things you'll need to do is obviously turn this on. For that, you just need to press the power button twice till you hear this beep. And now we're ready to fly. So your drone will come with a little case over here. All you need to do is just use this part here and push it out, and it will open. To turn your drone on, you'll just need to press the power button twice again. So once, twice, and the second time just hold it and it will come on, and it's on. To open the legs, I figured this out. So the long one, you just need to pull it out. So my previous drone, you used to pull all the legs sideways, but this one you need to pull it out. And the same with here, you just pull it backwards, and then the other two are sideways. So there you go, it's fully open now. I also wanted to take you through the different features of the remote control and the different buttons on this device. I couldn't do this when I was out using my drone because it was super hot and sunny, and I just couldn't see anything on the screen. So I'm going to do it right now. So let's get started. So with the remote, the first thing that you need to do is pull these 2 little knobs out, and you need to screw them in here. So let's do that first. You have to be very careful because this is so tiny and it's so easy to fall and get lost, and if it does, then I don't even know how to get another one. So just be careful with this. Once you screw it in, then you have your little remote control ready. Perfect. So now the next thing, let me take you through the different buttons on the remote. So the left button right here is the home button and the pause button. And in the middle, you'll have the mode, which is Cine, normal or sport mode. And then you have obviously the power button. So the drone has three modes: the Cine, normal and sport mode. So the Cine mode is obviously a little slower and the sport mode is a little faster. All of these modes settings can be adjusted on the remote control itself. So if you want the Cine to go more slower or the faster to go less faster, you can change these settings on the remote control. A couple of other buttons on this remote control are these buttons here. So this one is to start video, this one is to start photo, and then you have these two jog wheels over here. So the one on the left is to adjust the gimbal of the drone, so it can adjust it up and down. And then the one on the right is to adjust the zoom. So if you turn it, the camera will zoom, and if you turn it the other way, it will zoom out. So these are some of the features over here. And then in the back, you will see these two buttons over here. These two buttons these can be customized based on whatever you want the remote control to do. So if there's any feature that you feel that you're using a lot more, you can set it to any one of these, and it can easily, it can be an easy click for you to change it. So for example, you can, I've set my C1 to change it from portrait to landscape and vice versa. And I can't remember what C2 is. I haven't figured that out yet, but yeah, so the C1 is to change the mode. So I don't have to go into the settings. I can just click this button and it can be changed. Other things is, here's the charging port. That's the charging port. And over here, if you open this little thing here, it's a place to put your micro SD card. So you can have a secondary backup storage here. Obviously, whatever is being captured by the drone is not going to be super high quality on this, but at least it's a backup just in case. Now that you're familiar with all of the buttons on the remote control, let's turn it on. But before that, I am going to turn my drone on because that's the only way it's going to show me the Go Fly and that screen over there. But yeah, as soon as you turn it on, you will reach this screen over here. So when you see this screen on the top right hand side, you'll see a little book. That is for some tutorials. So if you want to click that, you can go through some of the tutorials from DJI itself. On the left hand side, usually it will tell you more about the any kind of updates that need to happen on the remote control, and it will also tell you any kind of warnings about whether you can fly the drone or not. If you look at the bottom, you'll see album. So the album is where all of the video footage and the photos are stored. Then you'll see SkyPixel, which is DJI's app. And lastly, you'll see the profile, which is the profile that you would have created when you registered the drone. So now we're ready to fly. So let's click on Go Fly. Now that we've clicked the Go Fly, let's take you through all of the features on this next screen. So let's start from the top left side. So on the top left side, you'll see a little arrow, which will take you back to the screen where we were just at. Next to that, you will see N mode. So N mode basically means normal mode. If you remember, I said that they have three modes. So if you switch to the Cine mode, you'll see it change to C mode. And if you switch to the sport mode, you'll see S mode written on your screen. And then moving on to the right, you'll see a little circle with a number in it. So that basically means how much percentage of battery you have left on your drone. Next to that, you'll see a number, and that number indicates how many minutes is left before your drone's battery dies out. If you click on the number in the circle, you'll be able to see how many minutes before your drone will need to return to home, until it will be forced to land, and until the battery is completely depleted. So you will be able to see all of those as well. Just next to that, you will see something like a Wi-Fi strength signal along with the word RC written on it. That basically indicates how strong your connection is of the remote control with the drone. So this can fluctuate. Right now my setting is pretty strong because the drone and the remote are very close to each other, but when the drone is flying, then sometimes this can go lower, so it's good to just keep an eye on this setting as well. Just next to that, you will see an icon along with a number. So when you click that, you will notice that this is the number of satellites that your drone is connected to. So mine is currently connected to between 22 and 23, which means it's got a pretty strong connection to the satellites. So moving on the right side, you have the 3 dots. So these 3 dots open up a lot more settings. So we'll get into that shortly. Let's just continue down and talk about some of the other features on this page. So as you go lower, you will be able to click a button that will be able to open up a whole host of photo settings. So you can take things like a panoramic setting, quick shots, timed shots, and a whole bunch of other shots that can be taken. If you go a little bit on the left, you will be able to click this button to change the alignment of your video from vertical to horizontal and back. If you go lower, then that number is the zoom. So if you click that, it will zoom in, and you click it again, it will zoom back out. And then the last feature below that is AF, which means autofocus. You can click this to do a manual focus, but I usually just tend to leave it on autofocus. On the right hand side, you'll see a little bit of a play button. That is your album. So if you click it, you'll be able to see any kind of photos and videos that have already been taken. So now moving down to the bottom of the screen, you will see the word auto. If you click this, it will change to Pro, where you can now adjust all of the settings that you need. So you can adjust things like shutter speed, exposure, and all of those things if that's something that you would like to do. Next to that, you have EV, which basically lets you adjust the exposure setting. So you can play around with this and see what looks better on your screen. On the left hand side, you will see format, which is JPEG, or it can be shot in RAW version as well. And then moving on to the left is storage, which will basically tell you how much storage is left on your SD card. Now moving to the bottom left hand side of the screen, you will see the word D along with a number next to it. So D basically tells you the distance of the drone to its home base. Moving on to the left, you will see H with some numbers next to it. So that talks about the height of where the drone is at the moment. Right now, mine has not taken off, so it's on 0. And then on the left, you have a map. So when you open up the map, you can actually see where you are on a map, but you can also see where you are at with respect to where the drone is at and where the home base is at. So it will show you these different settings as well. And now on the left 9 o'clock point of the screen, that is how you take off and land the drone. So to take off the drone, you can click this button and just hold on the center screen. You'll see a little clock go, and that means that the drone will now start taking off. Once it takes off, it will hover at about 1.2 meters. So there's no need to think that it's going to go all the way up. It will just go up and hover at 1.2 meters, and then from there you can take control and start flying your drone. I'm going to now quickly take you through the advanced settings of the drone. So if you remember, I had mentioned to click the 3 dots on the top right. So when you click the 3 dots, there are a bunch of headings. So under safety, that's where you can put a return to home altitude. So you could set that. You can update your home point as well. So if you're flying your drone, and for example, if you're hiking and the drone is following you, the home point may change as well. So that's where you can update your home point. You can also set the max altitude that you want the drone to go at. So check the rules of the place where you are at and see how high are you allowed to fly the drone. You can set this over here to avoid the drone going higher by mistake. You can also set the max distance. So you can set a distance of however far you want, just to make sure that the drone doesn't go that far away. There are a bunch of other features that can be adjusted on this page, so you can take a look at those and see if there's anything that you want to change. So moving on to the control section. So over here you can adjust things like how you want to see any kind of distances, whether it's in meters, kilometers, or feet. You can also adjust how you want to see the display, whether you want to see it standard or larger text. You can also adjust the gimbal. So basically, there's the follow mode or the FPV mode. So the follow mode is basically that the gimbal will stay the same no matter how the aircraft is moving. Whereas the FPV mode is basically that the gimbal will adjust based on, like, if it goes higher, the gimbal will adjust itself based on that. The control section is also where you can adjust any of the remote control settings. So remember I mentioned about these two buttons in the back. So this section is where you can calibrate what these two buttons are going to do. So moving on to the camera settings right now. So in the camera settings, you will be able to configure the aspect ratio. So whether you want it to be a 4:3 or a 16:9, so that can be configured here. You can also choose to show a histogram on your main page. So that can be done by clicking here, or you can completely turn it off if you find it distracting. You can set whether you want the remote control to give you an overexposure warning. You can choose to show grid lines if you need them. You can also adjust the white balance and also configure some of the storage settings. Moving on to transmission. So here the frequency is 2.4 gigahertz or 5.8, and the channel mode. So I don't usually have much to do on this page. And then the about is mainly about the drone, and you can check for updates and look at your battery life over here. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Yay! Wow, that was so much fun. I had this wide open space so I could really test the limits of the drone. So I recommend that you do the same as well. Try to find an open space with less people so that you have time to just experiment and get used to the remote control and how the drone works. Obviously fly within your city limits and know the rules of the place that you're flying your drone in. But yeah, I highly recommend buying a drone if you like to capture scenic views, because I think mostly drones are more better outside the city. In the city with people around, cars, traffic, I think it just becomes very difficult. So I like to capture stuff on my hikes and any other viewpoints that I might have, so that's why I invested in this. I would recommend the Pro version if you have a couple of $100 more. It does have some really nice features like the point of interest, where basically you can set yourself as the subject and the drone moves around you. Also, it has active tracking where you can ask the drone to follow you when you're walking. So you just set yourself as a subject again and the drone follows you. Besides that, it has mostly the same features as the non-Pro version. But yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I do need that 10,000 subscribers to be able to upgrade to the Pro version. And don't forget to like this video and stay tuned for more travel related content. Take care and stay safe.